Hello everyone, welcome to my 105th live stream. Alright, hold on, let's see, are we on? Hopefully we're on this time. Hello everyone, welcome to my 105th live stream. How is everyone doing today? Let's see, connection good, that's good. We are going to talk about episode 3 of season 11, Hunted. Hey Epic, thank you so much for coming.
Sure, I thought it was okay.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this episode had some problems, and we'll get to them. Don't worry, we'll mention the positives and the negatives. So I want to say a happy birthday to Walker Dead, if you're listening to this. And I hope you guys check out his Walking Dead reboot series because, he has a really fun reboot series where he introduces fan-made characters, like really awesome characters he creates, as well as characters that were cut from the show, like most of the Green family, let's be honest. And if you guys get a chance, please check out his reboot series. All right, Epic. So I guess while we wait for Walker Dead to come, so episode 3, Hunted. So this episode, I was expecting more. I'll be honest. I was expecting more with the Reapers. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more with the fighting. And it just cut to the intro, and then that was pretty much it. Hey, Chosen. How are you?
Chosen?
You there?
But yeah, I said it was Walker Dead. Just like the first 2 episodes, Maggie.
Okay. Hold on. Let me type in the chat. Chosen. If you have any questions or anything, if the audio is not working, if you put anything in the chat, I'll read it out loud and give you my thoughts on it too, if you want. That way you can be part of the stream, if you want. This episode, Hunted. What? Did you say something, Chosen?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm using my phone because my computer, for whatever reason, audio doesn't work on there. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good idea. That's fine. So as far as like the Hunted, I did like the Reaper stuff, but the fight scenes could have used some work. They could have been longer, and I don't know. It just felt like they were making the Reapers like these ninjas that just disappear. And like, where was Maggie after she threw that axe? Like the fights, like everyone gets split up, but we don't really see them running entirely. Like we don't see where Negan runs off to. We don't see where Alden runs off. They just all get injured except Maggie, and then just characters are split up. Like they don't really show that. I guess what I'm trying to say. Hold on, Epic. What do you think, Chosen? Do you agree? Like the fight scene could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, it was pretty short, and I didn't like. So yeah, the whole how it was like at night as well, and then there's just some weird light. I noticed that right off the bat, how there's just some weird light and it's at night too. But also, yeah, the battle was pretty short.
I think there was light in Maggie's face because they wanted to call back to the season 6 premiere. Finale, but the season 7 premiere, like where they were surrounded in the woods, kind of thing, like Maggie. But it's a little bit different. They should have done it a little bit better if they wanted to call back to that, because I feel like it's a callback to that scene.
Well, maybe. And the Reapers didn't have any flashlights, did they?
No, they were hidden in the dark, very ninja-like. I don't know. It's just everyone was getting stabbed. Even Negan got stabbed like once or twice, but the episode doesn't even address that like later.
Yeah, so it was really weird. So what's his name? Duncan got like hit 3 times and then he fell down. I just when that happened, I assumed he was dead immediately, but then obviously he survived that and was able to walk around at least for a bit. Then Negan got like shot in the leg somewhere, and then we see Gabriel get like cut in the throat, or not throat, but the neck, the side of his neck. And I thought that would be like a bigger thing, but nothing really happened with that either.
Yeah, but Cole dies, which I mean, I knew it was gonna happen, but still, I'm like the way they
I'm
did it, you know.
I'm kind of upset about that because obviously Cole wasn't like a really big character, but they kind of set him up to be kind of interesting in Home Sweet Home, and I thought he would have more of a role. And even with Elijah, so far he's done nothing basically, said nothing. He's only said like 2 words in the whole show. But I thought Cole would do more and like at least say more things. 'Cause Cole barely said anything either, except for Home Sweet Home. He had a few lines, but yeah, and then he just immediately dies. I wish it was yeah, I wish he survived instead of like another character.
Yeah. Um, hey
Hey,
Ken,
Brian.
thanks for coming. Oh, go ahead, Epic. You were waiting a
I
while.
find I find it really weird how Daryl and Dog just vanish and aren't seen again in this episode.
Yeah, we see Dog running off, and then Daryl goes after him, kind of thing. But it's not. It's a little bit weird because, like, okay, first off, I gotta be honest. Like, my goodness, this Daryl must really be regretting having a crossbow because right now, crossbow is probably the worst thing to have. Like, it's night, you have one shot, and there's multiple hostiles around you. Like, he probably has
Yeah.
the worst weapon now. Like, oh my goodness. Um, hey Ken.
Hey, Brian.
But yeah,
I just wanted to say again, just like episodes 1, 2, Maggie is just, oh my God, Maggie.
yeah. You chosen. I forgot. I think it's been a while since I saw your video. What do you guys? I want to hear from each of you. How are you? Have feeling about Maggie currently in season 11? Like, do you think she's getting a little bit better, like from episode 2, or do you think she's getting worse? Like, what do you think?
Um, I have a whole video coming soon about like the topic of Negan versus Maggie that I think that I'll release that after episode 4 because I just want to get some because I think Negan and Maggie are going to be in episode 4. I mean not 4, 5. Um, so I'm just gonna get some more information there off Negan and Maggie, and I'll post a video there. But basically, obviously Maggie's like really annoying and everything, but I also love how the characters are writing her this way. I love how they're writing her annoyingly because it makes sense and it makes it for interesting drama and interesting show.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
agree. A lot of people have been saying that they're writing her badly, but it's extremely realistic.
Yeah, and it's for
uh,
interesting drama between the two.
true. Definitely. I mean, we're definitely getting more Maggie versus Negan than I thought we were gonna get. Like, I thought it might be one episode thing.
Well, in
I feel
episode 3, there
Maggie
wasn't much of Maggie versus Negan.
Hold on, guys, one at a time. Um,
I feel Maggie's getting worse. Sorry.
Well, actually, I thought Maggie this episode. I'm really proud of how she handled. Like, this episode doesn't feel like they were arguing because of like what he did to Glenn. It feels like they were arguing just in general. Like, they saved each other plenty of times in that episode. Like, that episode kind of made me feel like she kind of started to forgive him a
Mhm,
lot.
like yeah, like Alden, they're kind of just debating like, like the whole road scene, like whether they should be in the forest or the road, and Alden was on Negan's side, which was also smart too, just like not standing in the middle of the road where they got ambushed in the first place.
Hey,
And
yeah.
Brian.
Mhm. Oh, there you go, Ken. I sent you a link to Chosen's channel.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
The main thing that really just frustrated me was how Maggie said, stop pretending to be one of us, Negan. You're not one of us."
I mean, that wasn't a big deal for me. I think the one thing I was kind of like really Maggie was like when she was like, "This is all your fault," and I'm thinking like, Maggie, I really disagree with that. I don't really see how
well,
this could be Negan's fault.
at first, I kind of was like, well, she's kind of making sense. They were good until Negan came, but I'm like, Rick killed their people technically. Negan and them didn't do anything to them, so that's justified. Also, Maggie acts like Negan destroyed their. To be honest, the Whisperers have probably done the most damage, like ever. Honestly,
Yeah. That was I don't know. I think Maggie definitely. I will say that I think she did make more right choices this episode than episode two. Um, so okay, what did you guys think of the kids scene that we had this episode, where we had Judith, Gracie, RJ, and Herschel all at a table playing like cards. They were talking about their parents, or I guess you can say their absent parents, technically. My goodness. I don't know. I heard people say that like, okay, like obviously these are the legacy characters of The Walking Dead, but I'm just thinking, I'm like, do you guys think AMC would actually make a show, or like just do something with these characters in the future of The Walking Dead, like another show or something? Because I don't know, I don't like that idea, and here's why. I want The Walking Dead to end where the adults literally have given everything they have, and the kids get to like have some normal life, like after everything is all over, like the ending of the comics. Like I kind of want that to happen, you know?
I feel like it's more just for if they want to, they can always keep it going. Like if they want more money or something.
Which we know they do. Which we know they
Because they're
do.
definitely not going to kill them off. But talking about the scenes, I really did like it, and like Herschel's acting,
Oh yeah,
also
Herschel's
very
acting.
well.
Oh,
I really liked it.
oh my goodness, the fact that when they had to eat the horse meat and Herschel was like, "It's not as bad as the spiders" or something. I'm like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
what has your mother put you through? My goodness, that you poor boy. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm like,
Hey,
oh
hey,
no.
Brian.
Yapik.
Cause yeah, like that's another scene I had a problem with. Like at first I didn't get the point of Carol killing her horse.
Yeah, I had at first I was also thinking like, wait a minute, what? And then I'm like, okay, she's using us for food. The only thing about the scene though is like, really, she's not gonna tell somebody what she's doing, so no kid walks in. But also, her knife. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure she needs a bigger knife than that to kill a horse. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. That was just a small thing. I understand what they were going for. Not a problem with the story. As far as like killing a horse, yeah, that makes sense right now in the final season of The Walking Dead. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, really, like Carol's knife, like, I don't know. I just don't think. I feel like she should have used a bigger one, realistically. Hey, Walker Dead, guys,
Hey,
it was Walker Dead's birthday yesterday, and yeah, so thanks for coming, Walker Dead.
you're welcome.
Uh, hold on. Yeah, wait. Okay, actually, no. Epic first, and then I'll announce something.
Another scene I had a problem with was I didn't like how Negan and Alden they kind of like they were in the opening scene, but I don't like how they just popped up in that freaking warehouse to conveniently save Maggie.
Yeah, that was weird, guys. How the Reapers just. I don't understand that. How did the Reapers. Maggie was the first one to run out of there. How did the Reapers get to where she was? Like, how did they get on the second floor before her? How did Alden get there? Little things like that are kind of confusing. Yeah.
Like I know what happened. Not to kind of anybody off. Like I know what happened off camera, but I mean, the least they could have done was showed it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. They could have had the scene go longer where Maggie's just going through hallways. She hears something, she goes the other direction. She's listening, hears footsteps, goes a different direction. You know what I mean? They could have had that to be like, oh, okay, so it's either Reaper or Negan. Like, we just don't know. That
for
at least.
other
Go ahead,
for
Ken.
other shows I watch, sometimes I get upset or like they rush through things. But Walking Dead is one of those shows where they don't really have a time frame. Like they have a certain time frame, but there's been episodes that have been almost 2 hours before. They act like they can't add like an extra like 2 or 3 minutes to explain stuff. Like the Princess and Yumiko thing in episode one, I think, or two.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's
Oh yeah, and guys, for anyone who has seen episode 4, please I'm begging you guys, no spoilers about episode 4. Nothing about episode 4 yet on this stream. Just want to clarify that. What do
Yeah,
you,
I'm not gonna give any spoilers because, well, because I don't want to do that, and plus I mean, to be honest with you guys, the episode was, in my opinion, just ridiculous. I mean, I can't even talk about it. But I mean,
yeah. That's fine. That's not too much information. Like you can say just that, and I somewhat agree. Like I will say that 3 was better in my opinion. Um, so what did you guys think about the Gabriel scene with the Gabriel and that Reaper? Did you guys think that was a really cool scene? And I'm telling you guys right
Yeah.
That's
now, I think.
actually
Oh, sorry.
that's actually a callback to the episode where they ambushed the Savior outpost when Gabriel was out to kill that man. If you remember, I think that was a
Yeah,
callback.
it might have been a callback. Yeah, you see the difference between season 6 and 11, Gabriel. I mean, like, yeah,
Hey,
there's a
Brian.
massive difference. Uh, yeah, I definitely think I'm calling it, guys. I would bet money. This is Gabriel's. I mean, not only is it Gabriel's last season, but like, I definitely think he's gonna be the big death at the hands of the Reapers.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah,
So I mentioned this with Walker Dead, but ever since season 10, when Gabriel killed Dante, Gabriel has been very like just crazy and unhinged.
yeah, he definitely has been going on that direction. I definitely think they're building up and setting up a storyline where he's gonna die at the hands of the Reapers. I think so. I bet money on it.
And another this episode also kind of set up the death of another character, Alden.
Yeah, do you guys think okay, we can talk about that scene when Maggie and Negan leave, Alden at the church. Do you guys think that he is going to die?
Actually, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer. But you remember like the Connie and Virgil when they're like running. My theory is they end up finding Alton. I'm thinking maybe because like the area because they're like in a building and it's wooden like a church. So
Like
um,
Brian.
Yeah.
Like I have a feeling that I hope they don't do this, but I have a feeling that when Maggie and Negan get back to that church, he's gonna be a walker or something.
Yeah, that was so weird. Like, guys, do Maggie and Negan, do they not have any first aid kit with them? Um, like, I don't get it. Like, did they not even try to disinfect Alden's wounds? Like, I mean, he's gonna still bleed out. Like, if they at least showed a 5-second scene where they were cleaning his wound, you know what I mean? Like, they could have at least done that on screen. Like, I just don't get it.
Going back to the
this
Okay, guys, one at a time.
going back to the Gabriel going back to the Gabriel thing, the Gabriel scene. So I thought it was a little weird that, we first see Gabriel saying like, Jesus is his, what is it, like, strength and something. And then he goes and like sees the Reaper there like lying on the ground, and then he goes says that that God isn't here anymore. So I thought that was a little contradicting and weird. Obviously, maybe that's what they were going for, but the writers. But I found that a little weird.
Hey,
Yeah, it was
Brian.
kind of. Yeah.
So back to the opening scene. We see Cole get his throat slit.
Yeah, he's not going to be the next Dante. He was just an extra. I honestly knew it was going to happen. I did not think for a second he was going to be TV Dante. I'm like, this is just an extra character.
I didn't think it'd be Dante, but I thought he'd survive longer or actually do more.
Hey, that's something I liked about Maggie's group. Even though they all died, and I'm really sad that Duncan died. At least, like they did a Connie, they made me love Don, like him in 3 episodes.
Well, they didn't all die because we see Elijah. He gets yanked away by that rope or whatever that was.
And there's another character that was there. I don't know his name though.
Frost.
Frost. Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's not even seen there.
Um. Hey guys, quick question. In the part of the episode where Maggie is okay, some more issues with the episode. When Maggie's in the stairwell, why did they do the ninja walker thing? I hate it when they do ninja walkers. It's not, good. It's just terrible.
I agree.
They did
Yeah.
that in the forest too.
Oh yeah, exactly. When Agatha died, like all of a sudden those
Yeah,
walkers were just everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
they could
like
have just
that
ran away
scene.
too. Like I guess Alden was hurt, but
Yeah, I didn't like that scene in the frickin' stairwell where the walker just snuck up behind Maggie and she lost her flashlight.
Also, when the Reaper attacked her, did she push the Reaper down the stairs? Like, because obviously she pushes him off the railing, but then I hear footsteps. So is it a different Reaper or was it that same Reaper? Like, because we don't see it.
Yeah, it was a different one because she started running when she heard it,
Okay, because
and
I
they ended
was
up fighting the.
yeah. I just wasn't sure because I was thinking like, oh no, please tell me they're not implying that Maggie literally pushes a guy off a staircase in a mall, and as he's falling, he somehow climbs. He catches one of the railings and is coming back up. Like, please tell me that's not happening because that's superhero like super power stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I
yeah,
think
that's
he
what I'm
just
thinking.
fell and then rolled down a few steps and then quickly like shook it off and ran back up.
Oh my
That's what I took it
goodness.
as.
That I mean, I don't doubt that. I mean, it's a good idea, but like realistically, that's impossible. Like, oh my goodness, because like, yeah, I mean, even if he landed on stairs, like he wouldn't not get back up from that. He would have landed on his back. I mean,
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, Brian. Like I said earlier, Elijah, I think he might be the only one left from Maggie's crew.
yeah, it kind of makes
Is
sense
the
because he's
do you
most
think
skilled.
the do you
But go
think the
ahead, Chosen.
Reaper do you think the Reaper parallel between Elijah and the Reapers, like, do you think he was an ex-Reaper or something? Do you think
I
maybe they took him, captured him, and didn't kill him on purpose because he was an ex-Reaper?
I think it's possible. Okay, I think they tried to capture him, but maybe he escaped too in this episode. We just don't know. But I think he might have been an ex Reaper or something.
Also, I found it really weird how when he was trying to cut the rope from that tied up Maggie or whatever, he was like trying to cut it as if it was a knife instead of just like cutting it off with his scythe.
Exactly, that was so weird. And then before we even see him cut it, he gets pulled, and then all of a sudden Maggie's rope is just gone, or it's like weak
Yeah.
now. And I'm just like, okay, they really could have done this scene better.
Hey,
By the way,
Brian.
I want to say sorry if I cut anybody off while talking. It's just what the audio for you guys just like keeps cutting out once in a while, so sorry about that.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Hey,
Did you
Brian.
guys think that Duncan died way too easily? Like that he could
Let's
have
see.
realistically he should have survived, or uh, I don't know. It's just like we see. I mean, we do see him get hit a few times, but he gets hit with throwing knives, and then just like boom, he dies late, like halfway through the episode, and it's like I don't know. Did that feel like real to you guys? Is what I'm trying to say.
No,
Hey,
I don't know
Brian.
why they won't just keep one. Like Elijah's like the one that's most likely gonna live. But it's weird how they just killed them. I'm not gonna say they're bloodthirsty, but I think that one was a little bit unnecessary.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
That is one scene. That's one thing I didn't like. How Duncan's final words to Maggie was get Agatha to Alexandria, and then Agatha died 15 or 5 minutes later. Anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they did with the Alexandrians back in season 6. Like they just introduce these new people and they want us to care for them, but it's like they're giving us so few episodes with them that's like when they actually die, we're like, I don't know, like they weren't terrible, but they just had no development,
It
Well,
was
it's
like,
kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to do.
it,
Like I honestly, I wouldn't care about.
Yeah, that was like Duncan's like final words to Maggie is get Agatha back to Alexandria, and then she has died.
It did seem kind of
In a
weird.
lame way too.
Yeah, and
Like she's been
oh,
alive
go ahead.
for like 12 years apparently in the apocalypse, and then she gets easily copped by zombies.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. It's like she's killing one zombie, and then boom, like all of a sudden there's another one behind it and grabs her. I'm like, okay, wait, what? Like I thought the zombies are spread out, and then all of a sudden she stabs just one, and there's like another one right on top of her. I'm like, okay, I don't get it. How they're doing that scene. I don't know.
And
It's
one thing about her death is her death was actually spoiled in the trailers.
exactly. So many people thought it could be Daryl or Alden. To be fair, I was one of those people who thought it could be Alden. But then I'm thinking, I don't see them spoiling that in the trailers. And it's definitely not Daryl. I mean,
Well, the
come
whole thing
on.
was
But I mean, just Agatha. It's like I don't know. It was just kind of weird. And I don't know about you guys. Okay, we got to finally see some Rosita. That was cool. She actually referenced Abraham's comic death, how he died in the comic. She's like, Abraham's trying to say something. He's speaking, but then he just gets shot in the head. And it's like, oh, cool. That's a throwback, to the comic dream sequence or something. I don't think so, but I think it's possible. Like we could see something like that, but I don't see what it would do for the story.
Hey Brian,
Yeah.
another scene that I didn't like was how like they showed those two horses, and then they just cut those horses all like blown up and like eaten and just.
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me, Epic. Guys, what was that scene where they found two horses dead in the woods, like one decapitated? I thought that was the Reapers when I saw in the trailer, but are they really expecting us to believe that walkers took them down?
Well, I actually I'm thinking that I think I said this last stream, but I feel like the Alexandria group won't even know that the Reapers existed until they're gone. To be honest,
Yeah, that's
which is
definitely
kind of
possible.
weird.
Like I don't understand what is it with the showing horses? I don't get it.
Oh, this show hates horses, man. It hates horses. Ken was literally the only character who ever saved a horse in The Walking Dead.
Wait,
So,
I was.
Hey guys, I'm back. My bad. Stupid internet.
oh, it's okay, man. Um, yeah. Walker Dead. So, with episode 3, we were just talking about some of the things we did like, didn't like. So, like, we think that the Reapers could have been used more. In the beginning with that fight scene and some of the deaths. Like, do you think they should have killed off Duncan, Agatha, and Cole like this episode? Like, this whole episode was just like getting rid of Maggie's group.
I mean, with Agatha, like characters like Cole and Agatha make sense because if you're going to be killing off some minor characters, it makes sense for those characters to go. And plus, I predicted that Cole could. I mean, it's not really that big of a thing, but as some of you guys probably already know, I predicted that Cole was going to die by the Reapers, and when I saw him die in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, dang, one of my predictions actually came true. Like I wasn't expecting that. But I mean, with Cole and Agatha, it made sense. With Duncan, I don't know. With Duncan, they just went a little over. But I know they showed it. Like he got stabbed like 3 times. Like one of the Reapers grabbed like 3 knives and they stabbed it in his stomach. But I mean, with Duncan, I feel like they should never killed him off because he was so.
Hey,
Yeah.
Walker Dead.
Be right back, guys. You can keep talking.
We talked about this earlier, but you found it kind of dumb how like Duncan's final words to Maggie was get Agatha to Alexandria, only for her to die 5 minutes later.
Yeah, like his final words were like, "Oh, get Agatha back to Alexandria," and then like a few minutes later, Agatha gets devoured by walkers, and Maggie, as we all know already, Maggie being an idiot, trying to save Agatha, and then Negan comes in and saves the day, and then Maggie wants.
You know
It
how it's
wasn't his fault.
oh, sorry. I didn't mean to
Not
interrupt.
going.
I was just gonna say, like, how ironic is it that Maggie was hoping that Negan would be the first one to die on this mission, and he's the only one left with her? Like, how ironic is that?
It is very ironic, to be honest. I mean, it just shows how. I mean, it's not really that big. It's not really that big of a thing, but it shows how much. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it shows how little. Like, it shows that Maggie's not thinking clearly. Like, really.
Hey,
I don't know.
Brian.
In my opinion, it just shows how pathetic Maggie is at this point.
Oh, hold on, guys. I just want to ask Chosen something real quick. Hey, Chosen. Do you think that the Reapers will get all wiped out? You know, before like around episode 8ish, and Alexandrians won't even know about them, or could you see them continuing the story to Alexandria?
No, I think they're gonna pull a whisper thing where they just kill off all of them, or if there are some survivors we don't see, and they're gonna kill them off in episode 8 because for the synopsis it says like there's like a battle and stuff, and or at least there are some zombies attacking, and Hope apparently thinks it's Maggie or something. So yeah, I think there's gonna be a battle in episode 8, and then that's gonna be it for the Reapers.
Oh, to add on to episode 8 synopsis, in Alexandria, there's supposed to be like a walker. Like, maybe I heard, I'm guessing, so they might try to remix the comic thing where the walkers break into Alexandria, because I'm kind of disappointed they didn't do that. Like the Whisper Horde breaking into Alexandria and they were there instead of moving to a hospital.
Well, I
Hey,
think it
Brian.
says that they attacked the Meridian, the walkers.
Oh,
Yeah, it says the Reapers defend Meridian from a herd, and then
oh, right?
Alexandrians protect themselves from walkers in a storm. So I guess they're,
So
I
that
guess
means everyone, like, not to cut
both.
anybody
Yeah.
off, but that means the Meridian is gone.
Well,
Well,
we know it's gone, but that's something weird. Like, if the Reapers attacked you to like take over that place, why would there still be food and stuff there? If they clearly
I don't
won the
know.
battle.
Hey,
wait,
Brian.
so it says the Reapers defend Meridian from a herd, and then Alexandrians protect themselves from walkers in a storm. So in the comics, there's like a thing called like Magenta Storm or something, and that's like kind of like a Commonwealth term, but it's like a huge walker herd. So that could be have something to do with it. But also, it seems like both Meridian and Alexandria is being attacked by walkers.
Hey,
Like,
Brian.
oh, 1 second, Epic. Sorry. DeRosa made it to the chat. He said, "Let's see, where's Rick at?" Yeah. So I told him the CRM. Obviously, cannot wait to see Rick. I wish he could be in the final season, but I don't think it's going to happen. Man, imagine if Rick was here in the storyline with the Reapers. I mean, that would have been kind of cool to see. So what's his channel? Thank you,
Like,
DeRosa. Thank you for still supporting my channel. Go ahead, Walker Dead. Sorry about that.
nah, if Rick met Pope, Rick will probably look at him and be like, I don't know, like, if like once Rick sees Pope, Rick in his mind is probably like I'm gonna end this man's whole career in a few minutes. If Rick was still on, of course.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yes. Yeah, Epic.
I just wanted to say that the reason I didn't like Maggie this episode is Negan saved her 2, 3 times, and Maggie just kept treating him so badly.
Yeah, DeRosa says Maggie is ridiculous. I will admit that blaming Negan doesn't make sense. This was Maggie's call. This was Maggie's mission, and it gone south. I mean, big time. This group with the Reapers, this is the group that attacked her, and obviously, I have no idea, but there have been ideas and theories that Maggie did something with the Reapers. Like, there's some history that we don't know about, and I don't know. I can't think of what it could be, but I think it's possible. I just don't know what. So I'm just gonna say, I really don't know. Hold on, that happened like 7 years ago. Oh, okay.
Brian, I wanted to ask you this: do you think it's possible Maggie could die in either the first half or the third half of the season? Because I know how you guys feel about her. It's just I just want her to die so bad. I
I
just
think
want
it's
her to die so
possible.
quick. I just
Yeah.
don't care about her character.
Great question. I think it's possible she can die in the final 8 episodes of the series as like a big death, since we know they're not killing Daryl, Carol, Negan, but I would say it's like a 50-ish% chance. The first half and second half of season 11, no, she's going to be fine. But I don't know. Some people think she's going to get her comic book route, which means that she's going to survive. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
Oh, oh,
Cutting anybody off. Why I don't know why people think she's gonna get her comic book route. Because even if she does get her comic book route, she's still gonna be like
Yeah,
a
bad character.
hateable character. Even if she does make it towards the end of the series, she's still gonna be a hateable character.
I honestly, I mean, you guys are entitled to your own opinions, but I still think that y'all are being way too harsh on Maggie. Like, this dude murdered her husband.
Like,
So you're
the
telling me that Maggie blaming Negan for no reason. So how can you? So you're basically
It's
defending
blunt,
Maggie by like oh Maggie's in the right by blaming Negan for something that wasn't even his fault when it was the Whisperers that were at fault.
Do you understand
That's
when
what it sounds like. You're defending a Maggie character. That's what it sounds like.
He's not in the
not-
right. But
I'm
is Negan in the
saying
right
when
for killing
someone-
Glenn?
when someone is
But it
like,
still doesn't matter though. It's chosen. It still doesn't matter because, like Brian said, both Maggie and Negan were in the wrong. Nobody was in the right in that situation.
yeah, but you're not. You're just defending Negan. If they were both wrong, why are you just that? If they're both wrong,
It still doesn't matter. They were both wrong
person.
in that episode. Like in season 11, episode 1 or 2, I believe, they were still both wrong. Like Maggie pointing, I will commit, Maggie pointing gun Negan, that was stupid. Negan leaving Maggie to die was stupid. But let's be real. They even said it on Talking Dead that if it was reversed, Maggie would have left Negan to die.
Of course, she would have.
On Talking Dead. So even though if it was reversed, it still wouldn't really matter. But even though, and again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but there's no denying the fact that they were both in the wrong. And they still are both in the wrong. Like, I don't understand.
What I was saying was like, I don't know what the true definition is, but it's basically like when she was grieving over Glenn, I think over those 6 years, she kind of like, I don't know, like resolved her issue. I don't think she was holding a grudge all those years. But then when she saw Negan again, her like everything came back. So when you're in like denial or grief, you're gonna do really stupid things.
Hey, Brian.
Hold on, Epic. Let's see. Chosen hasn't gotten a chance to talk for a while, and I just wanted to read this chat from DeRosa real quick. He said, "What's the purpose of the Reapers? It's to kind of explain where Maggie's been all this time, give us some villains, just until the Commonwealth." He asked, "Are they basically like another Wolves type group?" Yeah, I see like half a season max, and I can see Maggie being the finale death. Maybe. Who knows? All right, Chosen. I haven't heard from you in a while. Did you want to say something? If you wanted to voice your opinion.
No, I'm all good. Other than maybe because I've been watching the other streams, and maybe we shouldn't talk about Maggie and Negan right now because a lot of the conversations has just been Maggie and Negan. So maybe I should talk about the actual episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So with the characters eating the horse meat and all that, I know. I don't know.
Hey, Brian.
That was kind of surreal, I guess. Yeah, Epic.
Like, I just wanted to say, I know what Chosen said, but I just wanted to say it's funny how season 10 made us all love Negan, but season 11 is making everyone hate Maggie. Funny.
I don't know. Maybe they could, kind of tone down Maggie a little bit as far as like bring back some of those fans because with the rest of the episodes, who knows? But we know that Maggie's by herself with Negan now after the end of this episode, so it's hard to say. Um, okay, so yeah, we got a little bit of Rosita. Yeah, man, there's still so many characters we're not getting in The Walking Dead right now. We're still getting no Connie.
Luke.
Oh yeah, Luke, Connie, Lydia, Scott. I mean, where are these characters?
Well, Lydia's gonna be in episode 5. I think
And we
episode
know,
6 is gonna be Connie. Luke is filming a movie.
yeah, we know Connie will at least be in the show in season 11. We don't even know about Luke or like Sydney or Diane or any of these characters.
Oh,
Even if
Diane's
they
in the
do-
trailer. She's
Is
in the
she?
yeah, like when Rosita's like all wet, she's the one holding the door open for her.
Oh, okay.
Even
yeah,
if they do bring back like Cindy or like say Scott, or even if they do bring, I mean, even if they do bring back Lydia in episode 5, which we will probably see that. What makes you think they're not gonna, bring them back just to kill them off like they did with Gage? Like I'm just not to get anybody upset. I'm just bringing it up because like they brought back Gage and they brought him back just to kill him off. What makes
Well, honestly, I'd
make
rather
us think
that.
that they're not gonna do that with somebody else? Like say
I'd
Scott.
rather that just so we know what happens to them. It's for some closure, kind of.
I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Not for Lydia though. I feel like she's kind of a bigger character than Gage, at least more memorable. But I will say that, yeah, The Walking Dead has not been doing a good job right now in season 11 with giving us every character, or at least showing us where every character's at. Because the cast is so bloated right now. We have still too many characters, and now with Pope and them, like, there's just going to be even more characters.
And really, they could just show us like them in the background, like they did with Barbara in what's called, was it Home Sweet Home or something? But like they don't even have to say anything. They could just be in the background too if they don't have any story for them, or just give them like to say hi or something.
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
Brian.
I mean,
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like if they bring back Lydia, they would just have to. I mean, with Lydia, sure, I agree with the fact that she's her own character, and but let's be real. In season 11 episodes 2 and 3, she didn't do anything. And from what I saw from season 11 episode 4, for which I will not spoil, I don't know. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't show any photos or concept or anything that hints that she's gonna be in the episode at all.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Go ahead, Epic.
I find it interesting how you mentioned how The Walking Dead's cast has been, very bloated lately, but Fear's cast is even more like bigger.
Yeah, Fear is very bloated right now, and honestly, I could rant about Fear, but I don't want to. But like, I am not excited for season 7 at all. Like, I just don't get it. What are they gonna do with this whole radiation zombie apocalypse thing? Because it just doesn't make sense, like, at all to me. In a story
I have,
perspective.
I have like a small little theory, I guess. The whole Andrew Lincoln filming a movie and it not being the Rick movies, that's a lie. They've lied to us plenty of times. That's a lie. I'm assuming it should come out. It has to come out late next year or something. I don't know.
Even if it does come out in October, I still wouldn't be upset about it because we're getting the first Walking Dead Rick Grimes movie. So
It chosen. So I guess like why I'm not excited about Fear is obviously that really bad finale, season 6 finale. But we just got a new teaser with Fear where Strand is this new villain now. He wears this like weird historical hat. He drinks whiskey, and it doesn't look right. And then also we see that the SWAT truck is back, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought it was left in the nuke explosion. Like, you know what I mean?
I know, right? I'm like, what the heck is that? Oh my gosh, that was terrible.
Yeah. Fear is not willing to get rid of anything. Like, listen, like I get it. The SWAT truck is iconic. It's like the RV from the Walking Dead main show, but they got rid of the RV back in season 2. You know, I'm just thinking,
It was
like,
back in season 8 where they blew it up.
that was a different RV.
Brian, they did put the SWAT truck on one of the season 6, DVD. They put it on one of the discs with Strand.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like I hate this nuclear fallout thing that they're doing because it doesn't make sense. Like, first off, Morgan, Grace, and the baby, how are they going to get baby food for little Morgan? Like, and also it's going to be radiated. And what are they going to do about the dog? Are they going to give the dog a radiation suit? Like, nothing makes sense. Like, I don't see how they're trying to make the radiation realistic, but then it's also not realistic. I mean, the fact that Riley, when he was killed and left as a walker, I thought, what's next? We're gonna see that he survived as a walker, the nuke. Like besides Dakota, nobody died from that nuke. Like, was Dakota really the only human being that died from that nuke? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's just,
You're right. It doesn't make sense because if they would have, better, like you said, if they went like full in detail with it and showed, like, if it was, like, say if it wasn't just Dakota, say if it was like her and a few other people, I still feel like a lot of people, including ourselves, wouldn't be, so, like, asking questions like, was Dakota the only one, or was it just her, or was it her and multiple other people? I mean, I don't know. That's something I don't like about the show. They don't go full into detail. I feel like they have to go full into detail because if not, you're gonna have questions like this.
yeah. And
Hey,
do you guys?
Brian.
Really quick, Epic. And they confirmed that Wendell survived. How did he survive? We don't even know where he is or who he's with, and he doesn't even know about the nuke. Last time I checked. So how did he survive? I just hate it. I hate it. Fear is not willing to kill off anybody. John doesn't count because the actor wanted to leave, I think. But
yeah, the actor wanted to leave. Dakota doesn't count because she was on there for a season.
Fear the Walking Dead loves to kill off characters like one-off, and usually the characters are actually good. Like Dakota was a bad character, but I wouldn't have minded. Like, she wasn't a bad character, but I wouldn't have minded her staying. The actor is fantastic.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Epic.
I just gotta say, if Alicia ever dies in Fear, I'm done.
Same. It's just right now with Fear, I just don't like it. Morgan is back to being a pacifist, like, doesn't really want to kill. Victor is a villain. Daniel has not been used as a good character in a long time, honestly. And I just don't know anymore why I'm watching Fear. Like, and also, like, I feel like they're not connecting it to the Rick movies or the CRM enough. Like, maybe in season 7 they're finally gonna do it, but they really got to figure out where they want Fear to go, because I don't think it's got many seasons left.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the reason Fear is getting back to being unrealistic and very messy is they probably got rid of the Ghost Rider, and Ian and Andy are now back in it fully. So now it's getting back to how it was in season 5.
It's so bad.
If that's the case, then I'm all watching Fear the Walking Dead season 7. As much as I like Alicia, Sherry, Morgan, Daniel, Luciana, as much as I like those characters, you gotta act like it's not worth it. Like, you gotta ask yourself, is it really worth it watching a show where there's bad storytelling and writing?
Why can't they? I wouldn't even be mad if they, like, season 7 was the last season. They focus on Sion for a bit. Strand becomes the villain, ends up getting killed, and then they all go back to Alexandria. I would not mind that. The timeline's a bit like wonky, but I don't really know the timeline, but it's a bit wonky here. Like, what's Fear's timeline for The Walking Dead?
So Fear right now is like around the same time Rick was taken by the CRM. So they're like 7 years behind.
Like I don't know. It just feels like, like Fear the Walking. It just feels like Ian and Andy are like now fully back in like running mode, and that's why it's getting so bad.
You guys have to admit, season 6 was definitely an upgrade compared to season 5.
The first half was an upgrade. The second half, I mean, sure. So let's be real. Some episodes in the second half were pretty good, but there were some episodes in the second half that were terrible. Like, for example, the Fear the Walking Dead season 6 finale where everything was at went random.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Epic, go ahead.
I have to say, like, back in the season 11, episode 3, the scene where Carol and Magna and all them are in the field and the horses come running by, that was majestic.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I don't understand why it looks like it's sunny. Guys, what do you think? Why does it look like it's sunny when they catch the horses and all that? But they come back to Alexandria and it's all like, dark gray. It looked like it rained or something. Like a storm happened. Like, what's up with that? Like the
I don't
coloring.
know. In my opinion, I don't not to cut anybody off, but in my opinion, that I think that's like a budget thing. Like they probably couldn't make it bright enough, like similar to A New Beginning. So probably they made it a little darker, and because I don't know, maybe because they made it a little darker because of the budget. I don't know. So it could be.
Was there a reason for the horses escaping? Did they explain that, like how they did?
I
Well, the
think when
walls are kind of like messed up.
Oh,
I
they
think
ran
it
away
happened.
after the walls. Okay.
I maybe I thought it was because they lost horses when like the Whispers attacked. Like
Well,
they've
that's
been
what I
gone for
mean.
weeks.
That's what I kind of mean. The walls are kind of like messed up, but I think they still had horses because I remember there were horses in episode 17 of last season with Barbara. When you see Barbara and Lydia, they're like have like things with the horses.
Exactly. Yeah, they didn't show how they lost them. That was kind of weird.
Maybe not every horse is missing.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but it's just so weird how Scott is like nowhere to be found in these episodes.
I know. It's just so weird that there's these characters like you have. I don't know, guys. Does this feel weird that you have Carol, Rosita, Magna, and Kelly? They're the ones going for the horses, but everyone else is just staying by Alexandria doing nothing. Like, what's everyone else doing? I get that Aaron can't go. He's got one arm, so he probably can't wrangle horses very well. Jerry is not fast and he's heavy. I get that. But what's everyone
Oh my
else doing?
god! I know you did not just disrespect Jerry like that.
No, I mean like he's heavy. Like
He didn't.
for riding horses, probably not.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like he's not ideal.
Well,
Like
they
imagine.
Horses are strong though. They could easily hold his weight.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he could help with horses as far as
I'm
holding
guessing
them. and
they're
stuff.
trying to like rebuild Alexandria. I'm guessing. I mean, they all can't go. It's just horses. You might as well not risk everyone's life out for some horses.
I know, but it's
Hey,
just kind of weird how
Brian.
it's just the women. It's just the women though, so it just I don't know, felt weird.
Oh yeah, that.
But
Brian.
not to cut anybody off, but Maggie mentioned to Alden in this episode, like rebuilding Hilltop, and I'm like, you don't deserve. I'm like looking at Maggie, and I'm like, you don't. I'm like saying in my mind, I'm like, you don't deserve to be the leader of Hilltop ever again. Like Brian said, if anyone should be the new leader of Hilltop, it should be Rosita, because in season 10, she's proving that she's like stepping up as a leader, and she's showing us something we never really seen before from Rosita in the show. So if anybody should be like the new leader of Hilltop, if Hilltop ever gets rebuild, it should go to Rosita, in my honest opinion. But who knows? They might not want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I said something similar. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chosen.
Well, I was just gonna say Rosita lives in Alexandria. I was thinking maybe Alden, but I feel like Alden wouldn't want to be the leader though.
Yeah. I guess I just
Hey,
said like
Brian.
Rosita as who would be the next best choice, like realistically.
Yeah, I would say 100%. I mean, Rosita, in my honest opinion, if they were to get a new leader of Hilltop, Rosita would be the perfect pick. In my honest opinion.
Hey, Brian.
Yep. Yeah, man.
I just wanted to say that I liked how Aaron, like, as Carol was like, I just liked how, like, Aaron, like, before they went out to get horses, we got a call back to season 5 because Aaron talked about, the horse Buttons from season 5 who got devoured by walkers.
Yeah, and
I'm liking all the callbacks, but a lot of them are like stuff that you can easily miss. I would like season 8. The callbacks were really obvious. I wish this season the callbacks would be more obvious. They're kind of like hidden, to be honest.
Oh,
Like you could easily miss
yeah.
them.
Well, okay, the season 8 callback with Carl going in the gas station, all that, I did not like that one bit. That was forced. Made no sense because I'm
Well,
just
season
thinking,
8 had forced ones, but I get it. It was the 100th episode, so.
But why is that forced? Because that's just a natural thing. Someone looting a gas station.
oh no, Chosen. What I mean is the way they did it, where they were trying to parallel how how Rick did in the first episode, but it doesn't make sense because one, Carl's by himself. Two, Sadiq is asking for help, but he's not showing himself. Like he's kind of keeping hidden. It made sense with Rick and the zombie girl because this was the first episode. They wanted to introduce it in a good way, but it's just like it's just a survivor kind of thing. And then also, just the way they're kind of doing it, how they set it up, like, oh, Carl's going to be the next. They did that to make us think like, oh, Carl's going to be the next Rick, and then they kill off Carl like that season. So it's like they did a callback for no reason. Because like if they did the callback to show like, yeah, Carl's going to be the next protagonist, like, but it didn't even mean that. So I don't get what the point of the callback was.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with that because I'm like, why do callback just to kill off a character like Carl in that season? It's like, what in the world?
Something this is an unpopular opinion, but if they were gonna kill someone, like how, like I would honestly rather Rick have died in season 8 than Carl. That's just me, I guess. I don't think. I think it wouldn't have hurt the show as much.
Hey, Brian.
Like I said, if there was another character like say Morgan or like if they would never done it at all, I still feel like it would have been fine. But I don't know. For Rick to die in season 8, that would have been 10 times worse. Like if you thought Carl's stuff was worse, you could have had like having Rick die. That would definitely hurt the show more, regardless if Carl.
I feel like killing off Rick in season 8 would have had a bigger backlash than killing off Carl, but they could have maybe pushed the CRM storyline like it happened in the first 5 episodes of season 9 into season 8.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, Carl had so much potential. I feel like Rick, in the comics, after the Savior arc, he just became a bland character. In my opinion, he just became a bland character. Like he didn't really even do that much after that. He did stuff, but he wasn't like, That's why I'm saying it would have been perfect to kill him off in the finale of season 8, maybe, or like you said, introduce the CRM storyline early.
Well, yeah, for me, Carl in the show just sucked. I did not like Carl in the show. So I personally don't care too much about him dying, but like I know for the story it would make better sense that he survived.
Well, me too. That's why I kind of don't. I'm not as mad about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they still shouldn't have did it, but it's not that bad. He wasn't like Glenn level good. So
yeah, I liked Carl in the comics though.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, I wanted to ask you this. Because since it's my the day after my birthday, do you want to talk a little bit about my Walking Dead reboot series?
Yeah, we can. Are you guys okay with talking about Walker Dead's reboot series? I know that maybe some of you guys maybe haven't seen it yet, but yeah, you should guys definitely check it out if you can. Yeah, Epic?
I just wanted to ask you, how did you feel about the callback to season 5 in this episode?
It was okay. It was very small. I immediately caught it. Callbacks, unless it's like a really awesome callback, like I don't really like praise it too much. Because I feel like with the final season, they're like, okay, we got to do callbacks now. The show's ending. But unless they're amazing callbacks, I'm just not going to really go crazy for them.
Brian, we didn't talk about like with Magnus said to Carol at all, like at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys feeling?
I wasn't a fan of that scene, if I'm honest.
I'm okay. I think Magna, like people who don't like what Magna said, I actually don't care because Yuma, like I remember Yumiko like punched Carol and Magna tried to defend her. Like Magna's not like mad or anything. She just doesn't want Carol to bring Kelly's hopes up.
And like whether or not
Magna's okay right now. Oh, go
right
ahead,
about
Chosen.
that, like whether or not Magna is like right about like, well, because technically Carol, she doesn't know right now, but like since we know Connie's alive, at least as of right now, technically Carol is right, but you know, like I said, she doesn't know that, so she doesn't know if she's right. But like whether or not Magna is right about saying like don't bring what's her face, Kelly's hopes up. Like it's just her opinion and stuff. So I don't really know I had it in my head, but I totally lost what I was saying.
I guess you didn't want her to get her hopes up that, like, it's probably not going to happen, and then she's just going to be crushed again. Because like the horses came back, and you know.
And like it's just a friend protecting another friend. Like Magna protecting her friend Kelly doesn't want Kelly to be like so distraught about it, right?
Yeah. Do you guys think Kelly and Magna could be deaths this season?
Yes.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
So did you see the picture of my new Walking Dead shirt I posted on your?
Yeah, I did. It was cool. Yeah, dog. Okay. So if you guys want to stay on the stream, for the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'm gonna talk with Walker Dead a little bit, just about its reboot series. If you guys want, you could stay or you could leave. Either way, choice is yours. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming to my stream. So yeah. So if you all right. So Walker Dead. When is your next episode?
I am filming for it. I'm still filming for it because, as you guys know, I have been busy because because of because COVID, and because my birthday coming up, and me being busy with other things because other things get in the way, and it's just so stupid. But I mean, expect that episode to come very soon, because I got some big plan. Like episode, like it's not really that big of a spoiler, but season 2 episode 12 will be titled. Like season 2 episode 12 will be titled "The Livers." Expect Tara and John to get like a story in that episode coming up. Expect to see Carlin in that episode probably get a little, a small hint of dialogue of his backstory, like what is the livers all about, why is he doing the things he's doing. So expect something like that to happen.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so guys, if you had to think, what is one thing you wish they did in The Walking Dead season 2 that they never did?
Introduce Billy and all the other green members from the comics.
I understand people who said, because that's so dumb that they didn't do that, but they would have killed all of them off in 2 episodes. If we're being completely honest, that's Lizzie and what was her name? The older sister and Arnold. They would have got killed 2 episodes later, most likely.
Lizzie and Mika. Yeah, Lizzie and Mika.
Well, not Lizzie and Mika. Liz. I think Maggie's sister
Lacey.
in the comics. Her name was
Susie or
Lacey.
Rachel.
Well, she
Yeah,
had a
Rachel.
sister,
What were like
She had a
Susie
big
and
sister.
something, and then the older sister was like Rachel, and then the brother was like starts with an A or something.
Arnold.
Something
No,
like that.
Two twin sisters were Rachel and Susie. The older sister was Lizzie,
Lacey.
and then the older brother was Arnold. I think.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, yeah, a good amount of them would have died, but I definitely think that Billy would have been a pretty fan favorite. I would say he would have been a fan favorite in the show.
I mean, Beth was basically Billy, but as a girl.
Honestly, I think Billy was much more interesting.
Well,
Hey, Brian.
Beth kind of did way more than he did, but it's not in a good way.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Yes.
Having those characters in the show, all the other members like Billy and Arnold. It would have been better than what Telltale did in their season 1.
Oh yeah, that was always
Like,
a problem with season
were
1
they
of the Telltale game.
were they really like just Maggie? All those kids in that house, just none of them are awake hearing their brother get murdered in the backyard.
Yeah, that's so weird. I never understood that in the show. Not sorry, in the game. Well, actually, in the show too. They never explain how
What
their
if they
brother.
were what if they were like still in school, or if they were with like Otis and what's her name? The other girl's name.
Oh,
Well, they had to be there because
well,
Herschel
they live
mentioned.
there.
Yeah,
Well, they
because
live.
Herschel was like go talk to her sisters unless they left that morning. But
The apocalypse. Why would you leave? You know.
it's something.
Yeah, but it's the start of the apocalypse, so they could have still been in school because Herschel didn't remember. He didn't really know for sure what was going on and stuff.
That's true. That's
True,
kind of
but
dumb. Imagine sending your kids out to die. But I don't know why. Like I used to always think maybe they couldn't get the rights for them, but you got the rights for literally Glenn. Like so many other characters, how can you get the rights for them? Like, I mean, it probably would have been pointless, but it would have made episode 1 way better.
yeah.
Yeah, Brian. What do you like? What do you think of what do you think of Billy's Green? Like Billy Green. Like, what do you think of his character in My Walking Dead reboot series? Like, what do you think about his character?
Well, I definitely want to see more of him, but I like what you did with him and Beth. Kind of having uh, that scene in your latest episode. That definitely did
Yeah,
help kind of flesh out his character. And I don't know. I kind of want to see like this is rare. I feel like we in The Walking Dead we've never really had a young character who is actually a capable survivor. Like young characters in The Walking Dead have always been portrayed. Uh, no, not like that. I meant like in when the apocalypse happens, you have like a teenage character. They've always been shown as being like a problem for groups, like always being a screw up or they cause problems. I mean, look what happened with they kind of did that with Gage and just I guess what I'm trying to say is that
They
like
did
yeah
they did that in the games and the comics, I think too.
yeah they always have like the young characters that just are always like a screw up or causing problems for the group, and it's like man, can they just have like one young character who doesn't do that? And I'm saying like Judith doesn't count because she was like born after the apocalypse, but like what I mean, just like what I'm saying is like a young character who like gets older, becomes an adult, that doesn't constantly screw something up for the group, and just like die, because they screwed up. Like, I don't know. I don't think we've
Hey,
ever had that in
Brian.
Walking Dead. Yeah.
Hey, Brian. Speaking of Judith, are you surprised at how like she looks this season, or did you think she'd look older? Or
Yeah, I will say they're doing a better job with it. But here's the thing, I'm kind of confused with this. Um, so I think okay, so Judith right now, I checked the wiki. It says she is still 10 years old, but they say that okay, so according to the wiki, RJ is 7 and Herschel is 9. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, something's off. Like with the timelines, like something's not making sense. Like I could be
yeah. I'm
wrong.
like, wait, isn't RJ supposed to be like 5 years old?
Well, Judith
Timeline-wise?
Judith could be like turning 11 now, and Herschel Jr. could have. How do they know their ages though? Like Glenn Jr. could be 17, and they wouldn't know. Who really keep? Do they really keep count of time?
Well, we
Uh,
should know Judith's because she was born after the apocalypse and everything. But I think they screwed up the timeline when, and here's Negan when they randomly said it was 12 years.
Oh, absolutely, man, totally. I
hey,
totally agree.
Brian.
Because that means Apocalypse has been going on for 13 years, which there's no way. That would make Judith like pretty almost a teenager. That would make her like very close to a teenager.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I do find it better than Carl how like they had like Chandler Riggs play. He was like 17 and he was like trying to play a 14-year-old. It's better than that.
Yeah, I will say they definitely did a better job with Judith than Chandler Riggs' aging problem. But I gotta ask you guys something. Um, when the Walking Dead show ends, okay, Judith is probably going to look the same, but do you think Judith is going to be in the movies? Because if she's in the movies, she's going to be a lot older. Like Kaylee Fleming is like, if she's in a final Rick movie, or you know what I mean, like whatever movie she's in, she's going to be a lot older than the last season of The Walking Dead, season 11. So does that mean we're going to get some kind of time skip where, from season 11 to the Rick movies? I guess what I'm trying to say, like the final Rick movies. Like she reunites with Rick. Do you guys see her reuniting with her father around the same age as she is now, or like when she's a teenager?
It depends, I guess. I mean, I really want them. I wish what they would have did is extend. Like, why couldn't they just add the Rick movies into season 11? Like, whatever they were gonna do for the Rick movies, just add it into season 11 and just extend the season a little bit more.
What do you think, Chosen? Do you think that Walking Dead season 11 is going to end? Judith is going to be 10 years old, and then all of a sudden in the Rick movies, Judith is finally going to see her father, but it's going to be years after this point in the story, like after season 11, and she's like a teenager now. So, like, how do you see that happening?
Well, I feel like the most sensible thing for them to do, and what they probably will do, is for the first movie, no Michonne, none of that, and just show like what happens after, maybe it's like a month or two time jump, but show what happens after he gets taken. Then the second movie, there's Michonne, and it's like the time after time jump. So Judith, I don't know, but I feel like in the first movie she won't be in it. Judith won't be in it. But then the second, third, like second, if Michonne's gonna be in the second one, then she probably won't be in the second one. But unless they do some time jumps in there, and then in the third one she'll might be in there in the third one, and then I guess she'll be older. But then again, there is the de-aging technology they do, but like I feel like they mostly do that with older actors, and they make them like back in their 20s. But I think they could still do that with like a 14-year-old girl.
Not to cut anybody off, but I had like this weird dream where Rick made it back to Alexandria, and he's like, oh man, Rick, he's like sitting on his chair, and then you see like Judith, and she's like talking with Rick about like, oh, how long have you known that she was my real dad, something of that nature, and then from what I remember from the next part of the dream, Judith takes out a gun and shoots Rick, and then there's like mad blood coming out, and he just falls to the ground. Like, I know it was just a dream, but man, that was just a crazy dream.
Dude,
Hey, Brian.
that's insane, man. Like Rick getting his comic book death literally after coming back to see his family, and it's at the hands of Judith. I mean, obviously they would never do that, but that's insane, man.
Yeah, I know they don't have the balls to do that in the show, but I'm not even joking. Like, I saw it in a dream, and I'm like, holy smokes! Like Judith, like Judith as like in her early / mid 20s, shooting old man Rick, and Judith literally smiling is like holy smokes! Like, oh,
Wow. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Like back to season 8, when we saw those old man Rick visions, and we saw like Judith. What's that? Kaylee Fleming, or was that a different actor?
I think that was a different actress. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think that was Kaylee Fleming.
No, it wasn't.
Because I don't know, because World Beyond, we're not going to talk about it too much because we talked about it a lot last week, but we know that they're going to try and fight the CRM, and they're 10 years in the apocalypse. So, I mean, I just don't know. How are they going to time jump the characters in Fear to be in the final Rick movie, as well as the characters in World Beyond to be in the final Rick movie, and then the characters in the show to be in the final Rick movie? Like, I mean, I feel like that's what it's all converging to, right? We're going to get this like Avengers Endgame style finish for The Walking Dead,
Well, they're just gonna have them like live happily ever after in the Commonwealth, and then yeah, there'll be a time jump.
Well, I think it should be CRM. Like, imagine they are able to overthrow the bad people in charge, and like it's even better than the comic version because like the CRM is like literally a whole city, so they just have to get rid of the bad people. And yeah, I don't know. I had that idea. I don't think they have to get rid of the whole CRM community, you know.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to be different from the comics because the comics Negan was absent from the Commonwealth story arc. He was nowhere to be found. But the TV show Negan's can be a part of the Commonwealth story arc. How do you feel about that?
He might. I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see what happens. Quick question. Let me think about this. Okay, so first off, Chosen. I don't remember if I asked you, but do you think The Walking Dead should end with like Rick being the president of the new United States? Like instead of it being Maggie, do you think it should be Rick? Like that's how they end the Rick movies, like in The Walking Dead. Like I don't know. Do you think he's a better pick than Maggie?
I don't know. So I know in the comics they did do like a story where it was with Rick, right? Where like they didn't like him, and then they tried to like kill him, like two people tried to kill him, right? It was
Oh
like
yeah, that was back in
Vincent
Alexandria. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and
That
yeah,
was like
Vincent
before the
and
war
and like someone Rose, like Brandon's dad. So
Yeah.
obviously like there's those two guys that didn't like Rick, but I feel like for the most part, most people will like Rick and everything, and like him as a leader. And I feel like with the president, like obviously in real life too, like uh country leaders, they're like hated and loved at the same time. And I feel like Rick is just mostly going to be loved. So I feel like maybe making him a president wouldn't be a good idea. Even though obviously Rick isn't going to be like the perfect leader, but as best as they can make him the perfect leader and like more people like him.
Yeah, I guess like what
Hey,
I mean
Brian.
is, yeah, pick.
I just wanted to say, how would you feel if like we waited all this time for the Rick movies, and then at the end of the third movie, they gave Rick his comic death?
It depends how they do it. If they did it where like he sacrificed himself for everyone, and then they do the statue, and then it's the final Rick movie. You have Rick and you have Judith and like Rick's grandkids or something like that. It could work, but it depends how they do it. Um, okay, hey guys. One last thing before we end the stream. Just want to get this definitely out of the way. What do you guys think is going to happen with Maggie and Negan going forward? Because we know in episode 5, no, the promo. Yeah, I mean, I assume you guys saw it. We do see that the episode's going to focus half on Maggie and Negan going to Meridian, and I definitely think that Maggie is going to try not to kill Negan because she's probably going to realize she needs him. But as far as Maggie and Negan moving forward, I think she's still gonna kind of hate him somewhat. But I don't know. I feel like I want to have a scene where Negan tells Maggie straight up, like, listen, okay, I can't take back what I did, but you had your chance to kill me back in that cell, and you let me go. You let me live. And I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like both these characters need to shout at each other. Like, not fight, but they need to get it all out. Like everything. Yeah.
Like in a way, it's actually a good thing that Maggie didn't kill Negan in 905, because if Maggie did actually kill Negan in 905, then a lot more people would be dead by the Whisperers in season 10.
It's Chosen.
Something.
Yeah, you can say something, and then after that, it's Chosen.
In episode 3 of season 11, Lori comes back to life. Sorry to spoil.
Okay. All right. Chosen. So, what do you think of what I think should happen? Like Maggie and Negan, they try to go to Meridian, and obviously they kill walkers and stuff. I think throughout the episode, what did you think of my idea that those two need to talk it out? Like they need to have like a moment where they just let it all out. Like their problems, but also everything they've done to each other personally and everything they've been through. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I feel like no matter what, they're not gonna like they're never gonna be friends. They're never gonna like each other. At least Maggie towards Negan. She's never gonna like Negan, and that makes perfect sense. So I feel like if they do end up living in the Commonwealth, just don't live near each other, never see each other again. Like they're gonna like try their best not to do that and interact. And then for talking it out, um, I don't know. Obviously, I would love to see that. That'd be very interesting. And
Hey, Jordan.
I don't know what it would do, but maybe it would work because like every single other time they've talked it out about like about all this stuff, there's always been like other people like having Maggie's back and like dissing Negan as well. So maybe just a one-on-one would be really interesting there.
Hey, chosen one.
Yeah.
So in a way, they kind of gave TV Maggie comic Rick like Negan.
In the way they give TV Maggie comic Rick's story, do you say?
Yeah, like because in the comics, comic Rick after Negan like killed Glenn and after he cut Negan's throat, he was very like mean to Negan, treating him badly and stuff like that.
Well, Negan, or it was Rick who chose to like exile Negan, wasn't it? Like to let Negan go in the comics.
But that was only because of Matt. I don't think
During the Witch War, but
Rick
Yeah.
to do it. It was just because Maggie.
So I feel like Maggie kind of has a bit of Rick's story, but also her own story, where like in issue 174 with Negan and Maggie, if you read that.
Yeah, they went past that story big time. Like we got way more with Maggie and Negan in the show than we did in the comics. I wish they'd do
But
something with
I'm saying
Herschel
is
though.
that they could include that in a way.
I wish they'd do something with Herschel though. Negan has to meet him. There has to be a scene between them. But I don't
Well,
know.
I'm also I talked about in one of my reviews how so we're always talking about Maggie and Negan, but what about Negan and what's her name, Rosita? Because obviously Rosita wasn't with Abraham before, but like or and that's because it was Sasha and
yeah.
Abraham, but like Rosita still has to like hate Negan for that, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh
she
yeah, she
she
tried to
loved
kill
him.
him at one point, right?
Yeah, she tried to shoot him once, but then we never get that anymore.
Yeah, Rosita still loved Abraham, even though he broke up with her. She
Mm-hmm.
still loved him. So,
So I
and
feel like we should
also,
get some Rosita and Negan.
oh yeah, and what about Barbara? Let's remember that Negan, because of him, her kids died in season 8 when Carl died. Like it was off screen, obviously, and stuff. Like I'm just saying,
Well,
that's what the wiki says. That's what
that's
the
so
wiki says.
stupid. Though. Like, okay, so something else. Would you guys have preferred them, like, recast Carl for season, like, them keep Carl until the finale and just recast? Like, y'all literally had a 6-year time jump and y'all could have just recasted him.
I'm okay with
I guess,
recasting
yeah.
Carl after the 6 years because there are actors who can look like this person in real life who's just older. Like there's probably a guy who looks like an older version of me somewhere out there in the world. Like it just takes some research to find him. But yeah, after season 8 or after Rick's death, I guess with the explosion, they could have recasted Carl and with a little bit older actor, and then use Chandler Riggs for the flashbacks and stuff. They could still do that. And, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that could have worked really well. Like, I'm okay with that. Recasting like that works.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But Brian, I wanted to ask you, like after the stream, you want to like chat or something?
I can't, man. Sorry. I really have a lot to do.
That's all right.
We have a couple more minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions, you want to get out of the way?
hey Brian,
Yeah.
do you think this Negan and Maggie stuff is kind of getting overdone?
I do want to see where it goes in episode 5, but I will say that I don't know if I want to see it in the second half of season 11. I feel like maybe they should just get all of it done in the first third, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel
in my opinion, they should do that. They should do that because, in my opinion, and not to cut anybody off, but in my opinion, they keep doing it and doing it. I'm like, bro, just stop doing it.
okay. Ken, do you have a last question that you want to get?
Not really.
Just
I have a last minute question. Dan, for season 3 of my Walking Dead reboot series, which characters are you most curious to see going forward? Like, which characters?
In your series?
Yeah.
I will say John. Okay, so I will say John. Billy, definitely. Let me think. Is there anyone else? No, you know what? I like to see what happens with Carl and Rick, definitely. Um, and Glenn, and you know, yeah, I think that's it. Those five, the most I would say.
What about with other characters like with Maggie and Tara and Beth?
Um, I'm somewhat interested, but I'm interested in those guys more.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Because like I enjoyed Maggie for the most part in like season 3. Like, you know what I mean? Like certain characters that I don't know too well, like I want to see how you do them. So Chosen, do you have a last minute question before I end the stream? Like something about The Walking Dead, like death predictions, or anything about the first third of season 11 or afterwards, anything like that.
One about the comics. So have you done live streams on the comics, like the
Um,
volume?
I don't believe I have. I mean, I have talked about them a lot. I did do a final issue review for The Walking Dead like years ago, but as far as like doing live streams on the comics, I have never done that. I don't think because I don't know. It's just I don't have a way to like show the comic book like when I'm doing a stream. You know what I mean? Like or like how to compare it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tricky. Like I just say
I
like
mean, you
yeah,
don't.
this. Oh, go ahead.
You